It's all about energy, my friends. It's really all about energy. Being aware of how this system works and understanding that you have the power to change it. We all have the power to change it. All we need to do is unite as a human species and do the right thing by each other all the time. Stop profiting from each other. Understand that we all have the power. We are all wonderful. We are all connected. We're all the same. We are all a human family. People who say, well, you're never going to get people to do this. You're never going to get people to start loving each other. As I've said before, the people who say this, well, they can't speak for everybody. They can only speak for themselves. What they are saying is, you're never going to get me to do this. I will never love people unconditionally. I will never stop profiting from them. That's what they're saying. And as Gandhi said, we must be the change we want to see in the world. If we can connect to our hearts and start giving of our hearts to everybody around us, and everybody does this, the consciousness shifts. It's that easy. That's all we have to do. That's why I continue to do these shows, folks. That's why I continue to try to bring you the message that I do. And the way to bring about this shift in consciousness does not lie in the creation of a global government created by those who are now creating it. And in order to illustrate this point, all I have to do is point you towards history. Look at the state that the world is in now. Look at the mechanism that has been used to put the world into this state. And then imagine one global governing body run by these very same people. Folks, this is madness. These people have painted a picture of themselves. This organization has shown us clearly what its intentions are, and we cannot allow this type of organization to set up a global governing body on this planet. Many people have asked me about the things that I talk about the Illuminati, about this whole system. And they've asked me, is this all real? Is this really true? Can the creation of a global governing body really be such a bad thing? Well, folks, these people have lied to us on all counts. They've done so repeatedly. They've lied about everything. They've had so many false flag events staged in order to transfer more power into their hands. The Lusitania, Gulf of Tonkin, 9/11, even the Port Arthur massacre in my country. There has been so many things that these people have done. They have allowed the population to become enslaved to debt, to a completely corrupt monetary system. You'll find that they've even lied to us about every single aspect of our history. Nothing these people have told us is true. So all I can do is offer you the past and say, well, I rest my case. These people cannot be trusted, and this is not the way to fix society. It is not the way to heal the world. And the formation of this government, the signing of the Copenhagen Treaty, will do nothing to protect the environment. It will do nothing to save the climate. The only purpose of this treaty is to lock down society into a very, very repressive system that will be controlled by the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. As I pointed out earlier, it is now fortunate that the Danish text has been leaked and that many countries are now seeing the reality of this, which is what many of us have been saying for years, that the global monetary system is the mechanism that is being used to control the planet, and it is the controllers of this system who are the CEOs of the global corporate empire that is being created. We have a golden opportunity to address this issue, and we need to do so very quickly, and we need to hold the people who are puppeteering this whole mess accountable for their actions, and we can achieve a great good for humankind if we do this. But we have to do it soon, folks, because we really don't have a lot of time left. But one good thing about this Copenhagen conference is that there has been so much data come out recently. the hacked emails, the Danish text. There has been all sorts of information that's been brought forth which shows us exactly what they're doing. So it is demonstrating that they are failing. And if this summit fails, then they have missed their chance to do this. And we now see the methods that they use to orchestrate all this sort of stuff. Perhaps this whole Copenhagen debacle may serve as some sort of catalyst, may serve as some sort of grand awakening for a lot of people who had been asleep up to that point. But as I said on the last show, even if some of the emails that come from East Anglia University, even if some of these emails are fake, which is very doubtful, then it still needs a full investigation. And the fact that they are trying to go ahead with this summit and trying to impose this government before there is any kind of investigation into all of the data that's been offered to the governments by the Climate Research Institute, this clearly shows complicity. This clearly shows that these governments are basically helping to relinquish the sovereignty of their nations to a foreign power. This very much indicates complicity in the politicians that are in control of our governments. It indicates complicity by the media. It indicates that there is a conspiracy of the magnitude that was referred to by John F. Kennedy in the famous speech he made shortly before his death. I feel that it is very important for people to acknowledge the existence of this conspiracy so that we can deal with it in a peaceful and empowering manner, and thereby claim back the power that we hold, that we naturally hold as human beings on this planet. Well, we're getting close to the end of the show, folks. I'm sorry for the amount of microphone buzz that might be audible on this track, and there might also be a bit of cricket noise in the background. I live in the country here, and there's a lot of wildlife around, and it tends to make its way into the microphone sometimes. Now, earlier I mentioned a person who is attempting to put a legal case together to address the situation of climate change and address the criminal actions of the Australian government. If we can get this in place and get this started, this will act as a template for other governments. So if you would like to be one of 12 good men, I can put you in contact with the person who is organising all of this. I seriously don't know much about it myself, but anything's worth trying. And so if you would like to be involved in that, please contact me via thecrowhouse.com and I'll put you in touch with this individual. As always, as I've said on many shows, the whole situation that we're facing is truly about energy. The answer lies in non-compliance to this system. The key to understanding this non-compliance lies in understanding your connection to those around you and in doing the right thing in all that you do. If we choose to exercise the power that we have as natural human beings on this earth, then the entire mechanism of control collapses like a house of cards. We can still have our societies. We can in fact have much better societies than what we currently have. We can fix world starvation. We can fix all of these problems simply by connecting with each other, by understanding that all of these problems have been contrived. None of them are necessary. All of them are simply systems of control that have been put in place by very few people and that continue to be held in place by our compliance to this system. Just understanding that is a huge step in the right direction, my friends. The key to the whole thing, the key to changing this entire world is to understand energy, understand the connection that we all have, and choose to center yourself in the right energetic state. And as I've often said on many shows, the energy has two different polarities. One is love and one is fear. So if you are not in a state of love, then what state are you in? Well, that's about it for me for the day. It's been a pleasure talking to you again. Please take action on some of the things that I've mentioned to you today on this show. This really is a golden opportunity for us and always be aware of what energetic state you're in. And don't forget that the Great Intention also is still happening every Saturday night at 10 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, whatever that happens to be in your time zone. For me, it's 9 o'clock Sunday mornings. But wherever you happen to be, that's when the Great Intention takes place. If you'd like to join us in this global intention, it's nice to have as many people as possible on board. Please continue to visit thecrowhouse.com. Please keep spreading the word to people and keep working for a positive change on this planet. Understand the power that you have, and we can change the world. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you next week. In Lakesh.